And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we do get into today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. So I hope you guys are all okay. We've got a lot to go through in today's video. As you can tell by the title, we have a Kieran Tierney exclusive here to mention, which is quite an exciting story to go over. But before I do get into that, first of all, two things. I want to apologise for the audio on the last video. It was really poor, really echoey, really croaky. So apologies for that. That's now fixed for this video. You can tell that was my first video in 10 days. Completely forgot what I was doing. And I want to mention the Champions League because Celtic, of course, are back in action this week on Wednesday as we have our first match in this year's Champions League. The new format, of course, the new league phase, 8 matches in this new league phase before we go into the knockout rounds, and hopefully we can, of course, qualify for that. So that takes place on Wednesday evening against Slovan Bratislava, and Liam Scales has spoke out ahead of that game. Of course, had a great start to his season. The whole team's had a great start domestically. Of course, we are yet to concede a goal in the league, and been brilliant defensively, brilliant going forward, and hopefully we can kind of transfer that form across on the European stage. Now, Liam Scales himself has set high expectations for the club as it entered the Champions League this week, aiming to carve out a historic victory in their first match of the new format tournament against Slovan Bratislava. As part of a team that has impressively kept clean sheets in their first 5 league games, a feat not achieved since the 1906-07 season, Scales is optimistic about transferring the dominant domestic performance onto the European stage. Celtic's record in the opening games of Europe's top competitions has been less than stellar, with the team historically drawing 2 and losing 10 of their first group stage matches. Scales believes that a win against Slovan Bratislava could set a positive tone for the rest of their campaign. If Celtic can get a result on Wednesday night, the mentality boost that it could give the players cannot and must not be understated. Liam Scales said that the club are looking to right some wrongs, already looking at winning their first knockout tie since 2004. He said, "It would be amazing, and that's what we're looking at. With the new format, who knows who's going to work out? Obviously, it's the first year it's happened, so we need to go in thinking that we can get into the last 16 or is the playoff for the last 16, whatever way it works. It's nice to have the extra games as well. I think it's all positive. Is the squad geared towards reaching the last 16? Definitely. There are 2 or 3 players in each position that are more than capable of that and are making an impact for us. I think that's really going to push all of us to play our best football. Wednesday is a home game and we're in good form. It's positive. It would be a great way to start the campaign and put us on front foot. You don't know how many points will get you at a playoff spot, so it could be a massive for us later on in the year. It would be brilliant to break another record in midweek. This place will be rocking. The fans will be excited for it. We're excited for it, and we're really looking forward to it. It would be great to go and get a win and start the campaign that way." So Liam Scales, of course, performed very well in the tournament last year and even picked up a player of the match. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but he's done extremely well for himself since he was called upon last season. And £6 million signing Austin Trusty is going to struggle to break into this Celtic team. So a couple of things I want to mention. He mentioned about the 2 to 3 players in each position, which helps other players perform better, which is definitely very true. We've seen that even at the start of the season with himself. Of course, Austin Trusty was brought in and people thought maybe he would go straight into the first team, replace Scales, be Carter Vickers' new man in defence to play alongside. But in the first few games of the season, it's been Scales and it's been Carter Vickers, and they've been the players that have kept the clean sheets as well, alongside our new goalkeeper. And that whole back line's been superb. So definitely having those extra players that we signed in the summer to play in those positions has helped everyone play their best football. We've seen it with Greg Taylor as well. Of course, Val still not starting a match for Celtic because Greg Taylor's still playing, doing well for us, keeping clean sheets. That's all we ever wanted really for the last few seasons. And I think we are more than capable to beat Slovan Bratislava as well. I think this could definitely be our first win since 2004 in the group stage. I will still call it the group stage, even though it's now the league phase. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. Let me know your score predictions for that game. I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 Celtic win on home turf. So very, very optimistic for that match. Now, let's go into the Kieran Tierney story here. So former Celtic star Aidan McGeady has voted his belief that Kieran Tierney will eventually make a return to Celtic Park. Speculation of a Parkhead return has been recurrent, especially during the summer's transfer window. However, Tierney's injury at the Euros this year dampened the immediate prospect of such a move. Since his departure from Celtic, Tierney's journey at Arsenal has been a mixed bag, marred by injuries. Initially a favoured player under Unai Emery and later Mikel Arteta, Tierney found challenges in maintaining his spot, with new signings taken over in his role. His subsequent loan to Real Sociedad didn't mark a resurgence, with an injury at the Euros cutting his campaign short. Speaking to Boyle Sports, McGeady expressed his confidence about Tierney's return to Celtic, though he suggested it might not be imminent. He said, "I think 100% is going to happen at some point. Kieran Tierney returned to Celtic, but that timing on that remains to be seen. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't play again for Celtic, but the whole situation has surprised me because he settled in so well with Arsenal when he first arrived there. I don't even think it was a loss of form, maybe down to the injury, and then all of a sudden Mikel Arteta changes his opinions and options and finds a different way of playing. I'm very surprised that it hasn't quite happened for him at Arsenal, but I can't see him return to Celtic just now. I still think he'll want to do that slightly later on in his career, but it will 100% happen at some point." So with Alex Vale's loan spell expiring next summer, of course, and Greg Taylor's contract set to end, that could maybe open the door for Kieran Tierney returning to Celtic next summer, as his contract at Arsenal just slowly run down as well. He'll be available on a cheaper transfer deal. Of course, we sold him to the Gunners for £25 million. I think any potential transfer back to the club will be definitely a cut price deal, especially in comparison to what we sold him for. But yeah, never really worked out for him at Arsenal. I mean, at one point, Arsenal fans were saying this guy was brilliant and they got an absolute bargain for this player. And then next thing you know, he's injured. Zinchenko comes in and it's not really worked out. He went on loan to Real Sociedad, didn't really work out, got injured again. So there is that to play in mind as well, that he had a lot of injuries since he's been at the club. But yeah, definitely open for that, but that won't happen. So there's not any immediate news right now. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video. I'm kind of interested to know your thoughts, of course, on the Kieran Tierney thing, but more importantly, so on the Champions League match. What are your score predictions for that game? Do you think we can qualify for the round of 16 or the playoffs to the round of 16, which is like a round of 32 phase with a new format? Let me know down below in the comments section. But yeah, that does bring us to the end of today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.